explain to us what exactly self-expression in fighting games, or expressing yourself in fighting games, what does that really mean for people who don't really understand it?
To me, it means two people can play the same character and take a different route to winning the match. I think that is ultimately what it means to me. But it doesn't have to mean just that.
Yeah.
Like, let's say they have the same win condition and they even use the same combos, but they can kind of choose how they scale those options. So maybe you do the exact same combos as your competitive player, but maybe you do more pokes. Maybe you do more standing medium kick. Maybe you don't go in as much. Or maybe the opponent on the flip side, they go in more. They're able to jump in more, perhaps. They're able to do more block strings than perhaps you would. They're more likely to try to push you in the corner. So it doesn't have to be different options. It could also be the different scale of options as well.
Okay. Yeah. I just thank you so much. I wanted to get your input because we talked about that a little bit on what does that mean, self-expression in video games? Like, not like you can put your you and your identity and who you are into this character, but it was just kind of confusing because it's just like, for instance, I can't identify with Katana, but I main Katana in MK9, X, and 11, and I'm probably going to main her in MK1 as well. So it's like, what is self-expression in fighting? Well, it's because it's the way I play her. It's my style of play. It's my win condition. It's the way I like to present the way I play within the character.
There's also extreme examples of this too, and this is why it's kind of a hard word to pin down. In Marvel vs. Capcom 3, you can play Dante, but you could have your assist be Amaterasu and Shenko, while the other Dante player could have Spider-Man and Magneto. Because of that, the two Dante players are probably going to have very, very different combos.
Which I think is a big deal, and which I think is going to be a big deal in Mortal Kombat 1, considering you're going to have Melina players playing Melina, but one's going to have Jax and one's going to have Sonya. So you're going to see very, very, very different combos between, those two. And probably because of your cameo fighter, you are probably going to see very different styles of playing with the same exact character.
I think so too. My worry about that is if, let's say the cameo is there to make your pressure safe, and every single cameo also does. Well, it's not really worrying. That might be the best case scenario, to be honest with you. It would suck if this one cameo makes all your strings safe, but none of the other cameos do that, and everyone just plays the same cameo. Yeah, so that's the other direction. I
think that's kind of more of a balance concern than anything else. But as far as to keep the focus on self-expression in video games, or in fighting games, I'm sorry, the self-expression in fighting games, I've heard Ed Boon, Tyler, Derek, Stephanie, everyone say self-expression in Mortal Kombat 1. I've heard it in Street Fighter. It's like, what does this mean? And I was like, because I was like, I don't care if I express myself in fighting games. I just want to win the match. But it's like, and it's kind of like, well, that is it. That is expressing yourself in video games. It's to me, from what I've heard, or from the way that people have described it, it's your win condition. It's the way you like to play your character and which character works best for you and your style of playing.
I think Street Fighter 6 Ryu is a great example of this. You can play a zoning Ryu. But you don't have to. You can rush down with them too. Yeah. And that's a big deal for a modern fighting game. A lot of modern fighting games, like in Strive, a lot of people complain that everyone does the same combo because you're going for max damage. And all the really difficult niche combos are just not necessary, or they're not worth it. They're too much. They're too high risk for just the same amount of damage you would get with a typical bread and butter.
Right. Cool. But yeah, that's all. That's just what I wanted a veteran's explanation of what that means.